I think it gives you an idea of who does what, but I think it all opens again once camp opens in the fall. I think right now we're just trying to figure out who's who, what lineups work well together, and the chemistry out there on the floor with the guys. That's basically what we're looking for now.
What are some of your goals you want to accomplish while you're down there?
Well, hopefully we get a little adversity. I want some of these games to be hard because I want to see what we do in adverse situations. I mean, if you're going to go beat everybody by 30, 40 points, whatever, I don't know. I'm just saying then guys kind of get a false sense of what it's really like, especially for these freshmen. I want us to get into – I wish every game is like a knockdown, drag-out, physical. The refs are allowing us to play and see how our guys, respond to that.
Have you been doing anything in the first few practices that you've had to sort of simulate what you hope to get out of this trip?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're really, focusing on getting the ball up and down the court, of course, but also trying to be the best defensive team this year in the country. We want to be ranked in the top 20 for sure. It's in the physicality of the game, as physical as we can play and the rest will allow us. We want to push those to the limits for sure, every possession, and have an identity on the defensive end as well.
Is this going to give you a chance to be even more experimental than you might be going really big or really small?
Yeah, it gives me an opportunity to match all kind of lineups together out there. Big lineups, small lineups, fast lineups, just different ones.
There's so much focus on what might be possible for this team. If we get to the end of this season and it's special, deep run, all of that, when you look back to this first tournament in the Bahamas, what's that going to look like?
Well, yeah, if this is a product of us being successful later on, then I'll look back at this tournament and go, it was all worth it because we played 4 games. We got a chance to get the physicality, the way the refs are going to call it, on the road, pretty much a road game for us, and seeing the young guys, how far they've come from that point to where we were if we made that deep run.
What do you want to see in terms of, I guess, the bonding and the way the guys relate to each other, not just on the court, but just in general?
Well, I want them to be, they're brothers. And on the court, I want them to root for each other. And I know it's hard when you have a lot of talent to sit on the bench and root for someone else, but that's just a part of it. I want to see that. I want to see the guys genuinely be happy for one another and other guys' success on the team and not make it be about you. We really want that.
Will everyone be available and healthy on this trip?
We hope so. Right now we know Malcolm is out, but we don't know about everybody else. Everything else is just a little knick-knack.
You talked about wanting to be your identity to be, good on defense. Was there something that happened either last season or during the off season where, like a watershed moment, where you said, "Oh, this is what I want"?
Well, I think I just really respected just from taking the numbers from and watching film on all the top defensive teams around the country and how they went about their business. Playing against Texas Tech, playing against Cincinnati, playing against Houston, those teams were very successful, getting through the tournament and getting very far because of their defensive prowess. And I studied Virginia, Texas Tech, and all these teams, Cincinnati, on how they do defensively and how they play pick and rolls, how they communicate, how they talk about switching, how they everything that they do defensively. And so when I saw that, because we weren't really good defensively last year, we got better as the season went on. Then I was like, that's where I want to be. I really want our team to be there.
You've obviously got a different level of talent this year than last year.
Mm-hmm.
Has that, to this point, will it going forward make you coach harder? Not to say you didn't coach hard
Mm-hmm.
last year, but you know what I'm saying? That you have to be harder on these guys?
I think I have the philosophy of being hard on them all the way through training camp. Like, this is still training camp for us, and leading up to the season. And then when the game started, people were like, you don't yell, you don't scream. Hopefully we get it to a point, and we've taught so much and we've developed them so much that they can self-correct each other out there on the floor and just need our help very little. And that's when you have a winning team. When the coach has to always pound and stomp and scream and yell, then you're not getting anywhere. So, but we really do want to have that. My philosophy is to do all the yelling and screaming in practice and push them hard early to try to get them to a point. And hopefully your leaders will come out of that and then just keep that going.
Do you see the leader yet, or possible leader?
No, there are actually a lot of leaders. A lot of the guys that came back this year and that have joined the team, they want to win ultimately. So I want to see if that continues.
How close are you to filling out the rest of your schedule? You see some of these teams across the country announcing their schedule.
Yeah, well, we have a different situation because of our scheduling, and also with the dates that we have at the FedEx Forum with the Grizzlies, sharing it with the Grizzlies. So that's always going to be difficult, but I enjoy playing there. So that's a good problem, and we're kind of where we are right now with our scheduling, and just kind of waiting on the Grizzlies to decide what they're going to in the NBA.
Although you guys haven't practiced a lot, what's it been like adjusting to having this many new players?
It's been difficult because everything's new. The players from last year, we have to lean on them a lot because we're teaching the same thing. We're trying to get a culture of, like I said, the players are leaders, and when they walk in the gym, we got guys saying, hey, this is what we have to do. The coaches don't have to tell us to work hard. We're going to work hard, and when they get here, we're going to continue that trend. So we're not having a lot of practices getting the young guys up to speed because they've never played this type of defense. They've never played this physical, the type of physicality that we want them to play with on defense, and how many efforts they have to make in a row. Instead of one effort, it might be 3 or 4 efforts in a row, and to be challenged to do that every time. So they're doing well. We're just going to continue to push.
A guy like Alex Lomax, who's played for you for a long time now, is used to your system and your style.
Mm-hmm.
What's his role been getting the younger guys used to what you want to do?
Yeah, he's the big brother. Even though he's just a sophomore, he's the big brother because he's been with me a while, like you said, and he understands what I want, and he's a guy that can play the style that we want to play defensively and get the ball up the floor the way we want to push it up the floor. So he's helping all those young guys understand that.
Any non-basketball built into this trip?
Oh, yeah, we're going to let them tour the island. It's going to be some team bonding things as well. It's basketball, but also it's to get a vacation, to see the island, to see things that they've never seen before. I just remember, when we went to Hawaii, I had never gone to Hawaii before, and I've never forgotten that trip. So, I hope this is the same experience for our players on this trip as well.
You had the chance to do a trip like this last year if you wanted, and you elected not to delay it until this year. Like,
Right.
Was this always in your head, like, I'm going to have a kind of a fresh team my second year? Like, it seems like you thought about this pretty strategically.
It was really my first year, and I really didn't want to go. Not only I knew I was going to have a different team, but I knew that I would have a year, and our staff would have a year under our belt before we went, and I felt like it would be more beneficial for this year's group to go than last year's group.
And how's Cody Topper blended in?
Cody's doing a great job. Definitely a guy that understands the game, very smart, hard worker, and fits right into our scheme of things quite well.
Do you know who you're going to start in that first game?
We really don't know, honestly. We'll just see how it goes as we get closer to the situation. We might start a different group every game. You want to see what different lineups look like.
One player that is at least intriguing to a lot of people is Lester Quinones. How do you view him right now, sort of in this in-between phase? You're getting ready to go to the
Lester is very mature, really good defender, really good offensive player. He has a very fierce mentality. Like he don't take junk. He's very physical and he's very tough. So he's definitely made his presence felt since he's been able to get out there and play.
Some people throw around the term X factor. Is he anywhere close to that, or is he more like?
I could say that. I think he's earned that, to say that he could be an X factor, because he's one of our better defenders and he's one of our better shooters, and he's a natural born leader. He's a guy that wants to talk all the time and get the team together, and yeah, great kid.
Do you expect this to be equally as beneficial for the experienced players as for the freshmen?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, because the returning players have a lot to prove. We didn't make the tournament last year. We didn't have a successful season, and these guys want to win. So it's just as big for Tyler and Alo and Lance and Ryan and Jaden and those guys as it is, and Isaiah, as it is for the newcomers.
The freshmen are the players that have been the most hyped up coming into this year. Do you get the sense that the experienced players are going to prove, like, hey, we're just as good as these guys?
Well, that's just the nature of the game. When you start seeing all these #1 recruiting class and highly ranked players coming in, obviously you're happy because you want to win when you get talent. But also there's a competitive edge to you that wants to show, hey, I'm just as good.
If you thought back to the last time you were in here with us to now, are you closer to filling that final roster spot than say you were a month ago?
We really weren't. That wasn't even like a topic of conversation for us, because we were trying to figure out what we were doing before now. But obviously we have some other situations that happen around the country, and we're looking at other things though. So we really don't know yet. But you know, at first it wasn't really a topic of conversation. We were just going to go with what we had.
Time for one, two more.
What was, you said you remember that Hawaii trip. Was there a specific thing in your head that you did on that trip that sticks with you all these years later?
I mean, just going to the water. Honestly, just going out there with my teammates and us getting in the water and really relaxing and you know, being in Honolulu first and then taking the trip over to Maui. Honolulu was more of the city, you know, when we rode the scooters and kind of walked around, and it was more busy. And then Maui was this beautiful island with clear blue water. I mean, it's just the beauty of it, just being over there and seeing that type of the beauty of it. And I never forgot it. And then we played a great tournament, even though we lost to BYU in overtime. I just still remember that it was a great trip for all of us.
Have you been to Nassau? For the
Oh yeah, I've gone to Nassau a few times. It's one of my favorite places to go. I've never been to the Bahamar, but I've definitely gone to the Atlantis.
You know all the hot spots, where to take it.
All I need is the hotel and the water. That's it. I don't have to travel around.
Do you know anything about these teams you're going to play? Are you going to
I know
look into it
nothing.
at all?
I mean, I you know, actually, I spoke to Coach Matlock yesterday about some teams are already over there playing, and we don't know if these are going to be the same teams that we're playing, so we'll have to figure it out. But I would love to see film on them. I'm sure they don't know who we are because we have pretty much a new team, but it's okay to kind of know your opponent before you go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.